Shout out to B Simone, man.
Shout out to B. I had to pray about this topic. Like I
For real?
literally was praying. I was like, God, man, I just pray that I say what you want me to say because it's such a sensitive area, sensitive topic. Go ahead. Tell
You know
people.
somebody, if y'all don't know, we talk about B Simone recently came out. She was on a couple platforms basically saying that she isn't gonna be friends with none of her friends that still talk about zodiac signs and
You want to play? You want to play it or
can we? I don't think the blue. I mean, we could play it. Yeah, we could play it. They could just hear it through this. Do the old fashioned way. Let me see. Do you have the clip?
Yeah.
Go ahead, play it. You can play it.
Let me play it on my phone. But yeah, this was. I definitely had to pray. I was like, man, all right, God, what you want me to say?
Be controversial. This is gonna be real controversial, but I don't care. I gotta get this off my chest, and I gotta let y'all know I cannot go into 2025 with people who are still looking forward to their daily horoscope. I can't do it. This war we fighting, I need some intercessors. Y'all over here carrying around sage? Y'all still got rose quartz. I get it. I used to have the rose quartz in my bra. Like, I'm gonna find me a nigga today. Yeah, this rose quartz, this rock gonna bring me my husband. I get it. I have been there. But what I'm saying is, I'm not there anymore. And nothing against the people who believe in that. Just as for me and what I need in my life, I don't need a tool. I need the blood. So if you ain't covered in the blood, hey, you can't go in next year with me talking about did you read your daily microscope? I don't give a damn about what the horoscope say about Aries. What does Matthew 2 and 2? This is
You know, man. I want to have some grace because she is a comedian, so she probably put a comedic aspect on it. However, what you said is what you said, right? So my only problem is when you say like I used to do it, so I can't go into the new year with you guys who still do it. What if people gave up on you like that? Right? What if whoever introduced you to God as you see it now, right? What if they said, I can't talk to B Simone because she does this? Because you said you used to do it. So when you say that, it's like you're passing judgment. And we all know what the Bible said about passing judgment. One, and then how you saying it is still passing judgment. Y'all still walking around with your passing judgment. Right? So it's like, how much different are you in what you're doing on your big platform than the people who are doing it? You're not that much different. And that's like we all like what Christians like to do is we try to compare each other's sin. A sin is a sin. So who are you to fill in the blank? You're just a sinner. So my thing is like what she's saying about horoscopes, because again, I've been learning a lot.
We learned a lot.
So she's absolutely right.
Let's start there. No. She's not lying.
She's absolutely right.
She's not lying.
However, I am a sinner who very much so stand on being a Gemini, and God just have to understand my heart. Hopefully, He does.
I don't
right?
think you're a sinner. I think.
I mean, I'm a sinner.
You sin.
Because,
I don't think you're a sinner.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, goddamn, like you would think. I don't know. Like I definitely talk about being a Gemini, right?
Same.
But I know it's wrong, right? And who's to say? Like if you know something is wrong, you still do it. You may be worse. So I'm not here to judge her. It's just all I'm saying is like I wish, like shout out to the Christians or whatever. Like I feel like when we learn something new, we get super excited about it.
Very excited.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's dope because I think the Bible even says something about that. Like you're supposed to get excited because then those are the people who bring more people to Christ. Right? My thing is just judgment because you used to be one of them. So why get on your big platform and start throwing stones at them? Because now you're making them feel bad. What if God did that about you when you were in there? Come on, dog. Like, you know better than that, especially coming into this new season of yours. So, like, although she's right, I think how she went about it was terrible.
I have a lot of takes, and I'm trying to think of which way to go because you said a lot just there. Sanctification is a process. We talked about this before, right? And I try to put myself in her shoes, and as I was thinking about this, I was just like, man, I thank God that I went through it in private. I've been going through the sanctification process in private because like the battles that I had to fight that nobody saw, I thank God. And now I'm looking at her and I'm like, dang, because you're a public figure, you have to go through this process in front of everybody.
But do she? She didn't have to go. She didn't have to say
do that. But it's just like, the transformation, like you're gonna see is different because you're gonna move different.
So let us see it then.
Right.
We don't have to hear it.
But and that might be a part of her testimony and how she feels like, all right, she feels like I should share this testimony. Again, messaging because she's a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
So like, all right, I heard a lot of people in the comments like, is she doing this for views? Is she doing this? I can't gauge that.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
I can't gauge how the spirit moves you or anything in that capacity. I'm a flawed man.
Facts. Me too.
Very flawed man, bro. And y'all may hear me on this podcast, but look, at the core, man, I love God, bro. I love Jesus, and I ain't never going to deny that, bro. We talk about this all time and time again, but I just kept on replaying in my mind, bro, because I was like, dang, bro, here you have somebody, and like you said, the steps. You get introduced to something new. You on fire, right? You're in for everybody got to know about this. And how could you not know this? You arguing with niggas at this point because it's like, dang. But then you get to a place where it settles, and then you might have backslid. And it's like, even though I know this goodness and I know this truth, but I still went back to the old things. So now I'm like, damn, am I a hypocrite? Now I'm going through this process in my mind, and it just takes, as you go through it, you start to understand how much it isn't about you. It's about him. So it's like, all right, I got this attention towards me. And the more that I focus on myself, the more I fall short, further away. But the more I look towards him and I understand that I am flawed, I understand that in my weakness that he is made strong. Now it's like, all right, cool. This is what Paul was talking about. This is where he says, oh, in my weakness, he was completed and all of these things. And that even when I was in sin, that he loved me. Those are the things that you start to see. And it's like, okay, the transformation in that process and the sanctification process, you start to take steps towards it. It's ugly though. People think it's going to be pretty. So when she said it, I was like, all right, I'm happy because the conversation is being had. Like, even if you may not agree with her method or anything, there's still conversations that's going to be had because she started and put it out there. And I was like, I believe, not in her, but I believe that God is big enough that all he needs is a conversation to be started.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I ain't mad at that. I'm just thinking because I'm like, what conversation if you don't know? Because it wasn't like any education behind it. It wasn't like, yo, y'all know we really not supposed to be celebrating this stuff, right? It wasn't like, yo, y'all know that, like, if you walking around with that, I used to do it, but you know that as really believing in another God, right? Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't really informative. It was really just judgy.
Just like, I'm not doing this no more.
Yeah, like, I ain't rocking with y'all if y'all do that.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, now you make me feel bad. And I don't even know why.
And it's like,
right? And it starts confusion.
And it's tough though, but maybe, okay.
But
you know what it is?
Let me ask you this then, Alex. I don't remember a lot of stuff. I got a lot of notes and stuff. Who causes confusion amongst the people?
The devil. It's the author of confusion. But let me tell you this part. You know why? You said, does she have to do this? And I think she does.
Right. But what I'm saying is it right if you're causing confusion? Like, again, I'm not saying that, I'm not saying her intent was wrong at all. But the way you did it, the way you're judging now, and when you say you like it because it's starting a conversation, and in my mind, and maybe we might have to meet in the middle, because in my mind, it's like, if I already knew that, so I'm able to accept what she's saying. I'm able to see through the approach and understand the message because I learned that. But to somebody who didn't learn that, they might be judging her or like, yo, what do you mean? What's wrong with this? Now it's confusing the people, right? Because now if you was able to say, yo, you know that this is wrong, because now it might start the conversation because I can look it up. I can go find it. But you ain't really give us nothing.
Yeah, and I think that's, like I said, the process of growing, right? How you convey the message you learn over time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like I done pushed a lot of people away in my past because I was so too passionate. And I wasn't able to recognize where they were in that season. And I had to remember the same grace that God had for me when people were coming to me and they were giving me facts. And I was sitting there like, you know what I'm saying? I just wasn't ready. I wasn't in that space. Now, to go back to the point of like, did she have to do this publicly? I think she did. And the reason why I say she did is because I think, not the sin was public, but like she said, I was talking about saging. Okay. Like she would be in the videos and all that stuff.
Okay.
So now it's like when somebody comes to recognize you for that, like you kind of, if you feel like you've unlearned or like this may have been right in one season, we talked about this with like things that we accepted in the past, but now we have understanding. It's like maybe this wasn't right. Now you may have to the people that you feel, she might have felt conviction within her heart. The people that I led to this, like I feel like I have to now go correct this.
But my only rebuttal is that because you're correct. How was that correcting? How was that leading? How was that you didn't inform? Like if this conversation changes, if she says, "Yo, do you know that we not really supposed to do this because of X, Y, and Z?" Y'all know that, like, bro, that whole time I was carrying around these damn crystals in my bra, I'm bringing the depth. Like,
I think she did talk about it though. Didn't they have it
on that? I'm saying on that clip.
No.
On that
I was
clip.
talking about in podcasts in the past.
Okay. I'm just talking about the clip. The clip, she's like, yo, on her Instagram, she posted it like, yo, man, I ain't going to the 25 with the people. Yo, y'all still carrying around. I get it. I used to do it. But y'all still, my nigga, before you stopped, you were still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's it. And I don't got no problem with B. Simone. It's just, if we're talking about that aspect of it, like, and we can, hopefully she'll see, maybe she'll see this, but like, she can see that you can have the right messaging, but the wrong approach. And that's okay. We can get better.
Boy.
Like, you can't critique nobody nowadays.
Somebody said that. I'm going back to therapy because, like, I remember my therapist said this to me, and it was really, I couldn't grasp it because I was like, if it's the truth, it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, even the truth could be abusive at times.
Yeah.
How you convey it. She was like, that doesn't necessarily, just because of the truth doesn't mean that you can't have an abusive tone. And I'm not saying that she had an abusive tone in what she was saying, but it just, like I said, I'm happy that it started the conversation because you could look into like, the comments and things of that nature and people are going back and forth. That similar to like when we put a take out, it's like, all right, it's a unique take, but it's disrupting something. Now, I think it's for her as she goes through this process. Over time, she will learn. You have a heavy platform. You need to be more intentional with what you're saying. Because like you said, God is not an author of confusion. If you pay attention to the Bible and everything, it is very intentional. It's very strategic and like perfect. Sorry. Jesus, that was ugly. But it's very perfect. So when you think about that, like, how do you now take this and incorporate it to your life? And that is a part of the sanctification process. I also thought of something like this. Every time everybody's like, you're spiritually an infant and this, that, and the third. And I used to think that for the longest. I was like, I'm not an infant anymore in this stage. I'm more like a toddler or like, 8 years in the game. But if you think to like a child, when you're an infant, everything that you need, you're dependent upon your parents and everything in that capacity. But as you start to get older, you have questions. You start to build your own ideologies and things of that nature. So I think that right now in my life, and I've been saying this time and time again, I was like, bro, I'm at peace. And it's kind of crazy because I was like praying to God. I'm like, God, am I going down the path that you want? Things of that nature. But I'm like, nah, I'm really at peace right now. And I'm at peace because I know that despite what I may be doing that's right or wrong, like I don't feel like I'm big enough to get in God's way of his plan. But more importantly, it's just like I'm having these questions and these dialogues, and I feel like I have genuine relationship and intimacy with God. So now I'm in this space where I feel conviction. I know that what I'm dealing with, I done read Romans 7 time and time again. We talked about it before, and I'm like, I get what Paul was talking about. Where he's like, bro, the things that I don't want to do, I do it anyways. And it just talks to, like, one of the things that I often wish that the Bible talked about was like day to day with these prophets, day to day with the apostles, because we see the great things that they did. But it's just like from a day to day standpoint, what were you battling with emotionally, mentally, spiritually? And we don't get that aspect of it. But I often think in just seeing his letters, like, nah, you wrestled. But the wrestle was good.
I was about to say that, bro. I'm in a space where I'm embracing my wrestle.
Yeah.
My tug of war. And again, I'm just somebody who holds myself accountable. And like I was talking to somebody just yesterday, I think. And she was like, what is that lady? She was like, I want to get her words right, but she was basically saying that, like, I do believe that God created everything. So God created the stars and things to align and things like that. And I'm like, I understand that, however, and I respect that. But all I'm saying is if we're Christians, it's certain things that the Bible says that if we say we Christians, we should follow, right?
That's the facts, yeah.
But that doesn't take away from your feelings because, again, I still believe what I believe, but because I say I'm Christian, I know that I got some working to do. And that can coexist. It's just a lot of times people just, again, they can't see past their nose, so they think that everything that they think is true and real. And it's like, yo, it's okay to embrace. It's okay to embrace your, can we see if the camera's still rolling?
Yep.
Because the shit might have stopped. The Atomos might have stopped, but I don't know if you might gotta check this. Because, yeah. I don't know if the camera stopped, though. The ATEM still on? Okay. Yeah, so my bad, y'all. We doing this by ourselves. But yeah, so it's okay to embrace your flaws and go get more knowledge about it, if that makes sense, right? So like I was saying, like I know I'm a Gemini, but I know I got some work to do in that if I want to call myself a Christian, right? I know I like to speak in my own way, curse and things like that, but I know if I'm gonna call myself a Christian, that's wrong. Like it's things that I know because the Bible says so, right? And that doesn't negate anybody else, like holidays, right? I've learned that that's a pagan thing, right? And I'm not about to judge nobody for celebrating.
Yeah.
I just know that. So have I went to a holiday party? Yeah. I didn't dress up, but me being there is still confusion. It's
Right.
like what they say, never argue with a fool, because from a distance, you will never know who's who. The same. If I'm going to say I don't celebrate Christmas, but I'm at a Christmas party, it's going to look like I celebrate Christmas. So, but again, these are things that I'm not about to give it an excuse, like, I just came here because, like, I ain't celebrating. No, you're wrong. However, I'm working on that.
This is where I am.
Like, it's so, and I learned to embrace that. It's like, people feel like they want to make excuses for their wrongdoings. No, just embrace it and get better.